I've had the privilege of being invited by Wrightwood659 to participate in the Architecture for the People exhibit of Balkrisha Doshi's work. The opportunity came in part because I had had the chance to work in Doshi's office, as well as having an architectural practice, Civic Projects, here in Chicago. One of the questions that we felt that was really important was how an architect from India's work that is so humanist in its approach could also have an impact in the context of Chicago, and particularly in the context of Chicago neighborhoods. We had the opportunity to really look at how work in exhibitions and studios contribute to the communities we work in and the communities that we work for. Through one-on-one conversations with artists, journalists and authors, as well as activists, we reimagined Doshi's work in the contemporary context of Chicago. We had the opportunity to walk through the exhibit with Edra Soto, who is an artist here in Chicago. She lives in the West Garfield Park community and has an outdoor gallery named the Franklin that invites other artists to come in and engage in a dialogue.
I want it. Can I take it home? It speaks to me because I grew up with a rattan furniture and kind of handcrafted, it's lower common denominator materials. And I think about the monoblock chairs. They're ubiquitous, they're popular everywhere. It's sort of like solving a problem. How do you make it dynamic or interesting for people to engage? I think it's something that Doshi always makes sure that people feel like they're at home.
So this was a collaboration between M.F. Hussain and Doshi.
He needed the vision of Doshi to accomplish what he wanted as well, but it was also a collaboration with the builders.
They've modeled the framing, so imagine this totally by hand, crafted. And then he challenged back the artists too, because M.F. Hussain ended up painting at a larger scale to fill these walls than he had done prior to this work.
I think it was a reaction after seeing the end result, because he had conventional paintings, right? So he couldn't really...
There's no flat wall.
No, use those.
Yeah, you can see in some of the photos there's outside and inside spaces. So it became a space even for other artists, like for performance and activity. So it's not static, it's inhabited, and every time it's used, it's different.
When I talk about my work with the Franklin, what I want them to do, which is occupy physical space in places that already exist. But what Doshi do is the opposite, opening the structure so the environment is integrated. His consideration for the air and the light is just like he wants the building to sort of be a breathing organism. And it's not very common that I hear somebody talking about a building in terms of its humanity. He constantly talks about hierarchies and how he wants this work to be received and celebrated by all kinds of people.
This was conceived where you got your core amenities. You basically got your sort of kitchen, bathroom. You got the water, the sewage, and you had the basic amenities, and then over time, you built up the house. And they could use their own materials. You could have a ground floor, and then maybe your child gets married, and then you could build a second floor. And it's community built, so you can expand your family and stay in the community. So he showed the examples. The ideas were for the community to build upon.
He don't use the word practical, but I think of it as practical, where we need to have a space in flux, where things are going to change according to what we need. It's something very common in my neighborhood as well, where there's a lot of people living in one place and they cannot get everything from that one place, so things manifest outside. Look, the monoblock chair.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Worldwide. It might be the most popular chair in the world. I start thinking, what will be the equivalent of something that relates to my culture? And I start thinking about the monoblock chairs, because I think about the archaeology of things that are old or discarded and how to connect them with history, or how to unveil some of the stories behind them. So that experience sort of helped me understand the importance of visibility. When I talk about the project of the Franklin, I had this fantasy of creating a project that brings together all kinds of disciplines. How you merge all these different types of people. And it's not really architecture, it's become architecture by accident. It really did. I just thought about architecture as how it relates to the body because it occupies space, and vernacular architecture in particular, to me, I think of it as a language that pertains to everybody. Like it can be perceived or it can become completely invisible, but it also feels authentic. I feel like maybe that this is a big connector with me and how Doshi's work resonates because of thinking about how you merge all these different types of people, people that understand art, people that don't understand art, how we become inviting to everybody.